Federal government partners music icon Two-Face on job creation for the youth.
Areas that are of interest to some of our target audience, and you will agree with me that it's the entertainment or creative industry.
Abuja Magistrate Court adjourns Sikweche's assault case to mid-November. Niger State government takes steps to curb incessant boat mishaps, distributes metallic boats to riverine communities. Good afternoon and welcome to News Desk at 3 on Nta News24. I am Claire Adilabu Abdurrazak and we're broadcasting live from our studios in Abuja. Now, Nigeria's musical icon Innocent Dibia, popularly known as Two-Face, has signed a promotional partnership agreement with Job Creation and Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Secretariat of the Vice President. Nigeria's musical icon Innocent Dibia is seeking public support for the MSMEs sector. The partnership agreement was signed by Two-Face and Tola Adekunle Johnson, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Job Creation and MSMEs, as the coming on board of Two-Face as a Job Creation and MSMEs brand ambassador would promote ideas and initiatives under the National MSMEs Awards. Innocent Dibia appreciated President Tinubu's administration for its support to the youth and small businesses, promising to create more awareness in the country, especially among the youth.
In trying to consistently promote this, we've looked at areas that are of interest to some of our target audience, and you will agree with me that it's the entertainment or creative industry. And today, we will be unveiling who I regard as an icon, a legend in the game. Of course, we've been friends for a long time, but in his rights, he's a legend.
You know, most of our youth today, there's so many things going on that they can easily just be deviated from following the right positive trajectory of life. But with this, you know, it's people might even underestimate the power and the value that this will bring, you know, to both the individuals and their communities and then the country as a whole. So for me, I really commend this initiative. I commend the show of concern and the show of support from government towards, you know, young people.
The promised more partners from the private sector and encouraged commitment to empower the youth in the area of job creation. And the National Digital Economy and E-Governance Bill 2024 has been unveiled at a stakeholders dialogue in Lafia. A correspondent Bilkis Uguruku reports that the draft bill at driving economic growth and improve service delivery has digital transformation, electronic transactions, and consumer protection, among other provisions.
At the instance of the Federal Ministry of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, is aimed at promoting ease of doing business by creating a robust platform for enhanced knowledge sharing consistent with the global best practices. The stakeholders workshop is therefore engaging sub-national actors in the digital economy sector in shaping the legislature towards the knowledge of the e-governance bill and to make the citizens of the country well equipped in the area of artificial intelligence and pave way for rapid development.
We are hoping that this stakeholders engagement will yield some positive results that will enhance some productivity within the state, and also by reviewing what is inside the draft National Digital Economy and E-Governance Bill.
The facilitator, Jeffrey Mwalima, who spoke on national digital economy and e-governance, said with the coming of this bill, it will ensure transparency and accountability in governance.
For the government, this makes it easier for you to collect your revenue. If you have a good digital space, it makes it easier for you to get your revenue easily, seamlessly, transparently, without a lot of fraud involved.
The Permanent Secretary, Office of the Secretary to the State Government, Jafar Yakubu, said the state government is working on modalities that will ensure that civil servants in the state are equipped with the requisite knowledge on digital economy.
Government should ensure that between the implementers of the policy or the bill and the consumers, everybody is carried on board.
Participants described the engagement as apt, considering the impact of the bill on the general well-being of the state and the country at large. In Lafia, Bilkisu Umar Gurku, Nta News.
And another set of 252 women from across the country have been trained and empowered by the National Information Technology Development Agency, Nta, in collaboration with the Renewed Hope Initiative, RHI. While presenting empowerment items to the beneficiaries, Nigeria's First Lady, Nta described the feat as another significant leap in efforts of the current administration to advance gender equity, leveraging technology. State House correspondent Nta News24 reports.
It was a partnership born out of shared vision, which is to empower women and give them more room to play in the digital space. The vision drew its first breath on August 21, 2023, when a set of 35 beneficiaries drawn from the FCT underwent a 5-day ICT training with Renewed Hope Initiative, providing the platform and beneficiaries, while the National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, offers logistics and training. Today, on the second year anniversary of this strategic collaboration, Nigeria's First Lady Nta is pleased to see the growth of the program, which now has 40 women per geopolitical zone embarking on the same capacity building training aimed at transforming their communities.
These women are now set to go out into the world to put these new skills to use and to inspire and guide other young women. And I'm so glad hearing your testimonies today that you all are set to empower others, and that is the message. I look forward to the great things that all of you will accomplish in the months and years ahead. I thank the Director General of NIDA, Malam Kashifu, Inua Abdullahi, and his team for this passion and steadfast commitment to bridge Nigeria's digital divide by ensuring women's full participation in the digital revolution through access to technology that will enable them contribute meaningfully to the economic growth and innovation.
She notes that the ultimate goal of the collaboration is to leverage technology to bridge gender gaps.
To create more diverse and inclusive tech world, we need to inspire and empower the next generation of female role models to pursue and develop their career in technology and become innovators, leaders, and entrepreneurs.
The Director General of NITDA, Kachifu Inua, is upbeat about the opportunities that are now at the disposal of beneficiaries in the digital space.
This will help them to expand their businesses. This will help them to have access to education and skills online. They can work from home. They can be part of the gig economy, creating software, doing graphic designing. And if they have their own petty business, they can use the skills to expand their market.
I'm so inspired, and I pledge that
Exuding much confidence with their starter packs in hand, the beneficiaries say they are ready to impact the digital world and their communities. From the conference center of the Presidential Villa, Nta News24, Nta News.
And the minority caucus of the House of Representatives commend President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for ordering immediate release of about 76 children charged for terrorism, treason and arson by the Nigerian police force for participating in the August protest. Now, the minority caucus in a statement thanked the president for being responsive to calls by Nigerians and the international community over the arraignment of the children, as well as his timely intervention, which led the Attorney General of the Federation to assume control and termination of the suit. Now, the court was led by House Minority Leader Kingsley Chinda, calls for possible investigation and prosecution of individuals and government agencies involved in the matter, as well as sanctions to serve as deterrent. They equally appealed that reformatory therapy sessions, medical support and reparation packages be accorded the children as they unite with their respective families. Now, following the recent release of several minors from prison custody on the directive of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and subsequent dismissal of all charges, commendations have continued to come in for the President's compassion and pragmatism. Former Governor of Kano State and Senator representing Kano South in the 9th National Assembly, Kebiru Gaya, lauded the President for what he calls kindness and the President's understanding, noting that it was in the public interest for the President to have taken that approach. Senator Gaya also praised the Kano State government for its interventions.
I thank him also for making effort to help the children and their families, financially and otherwise, for them to survive. And I also wish to thank the Governor of Kano State, Abba Kabir, who on his own wisdom also tried to support the children and the family in such a way that they could stand on their own. Because I believe all this is due to poverty, unemployment. So I really thank President Bola Tinubu for having a listening ear to this problem to release our children, because it was becoming like a tense security situation in the northern part of this country, and I do not want anything that might affect or jeopardize his leadership.
In another development, Magistrate Court of the Federal Capital Territory, sitting in Kuje, has adjourned to the 22nd of November, 2024, for the consideration of a motion and notice filed by the Defense Counsel in the alleged assault and threat to life charges preferred against Alex Ikweche, a member of the House of Representatives, by the Inspector General of Police. Chukunonso Mwabweze has the details.
At the resumed hearing of the case, counsel to the defendant, Odi Ajike, sought the leave of the court to move a motion on notice, which he said had been served on the prosecution. In his objection, the prosecution counsel, Ibrahim Mohammed, said although his attention was drawn to a service copy of the alleged motion in the court file, he was yet to be duly served. He therefore prayed the court for time to be served properly to enable him respond to the said motion adequately. Without any objection from the defense counsel, Senior Magistrate Abubakar Umar adjourned the case to 22nd of November 2024 for the defense counsel to move the motion. He, however, reminded counsels that there will be no room for longer adjournments in the matter in order to meet up with the 180 days adjudication period in criminal matters as provided for in the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015. Alex Ikweche, standing trial over allegations of assault and threat to life of an Uber driver, preferred against him by the Inspector General of Police on behalf of the federal government. The defendant, who was in court for the day's proceedings, had earlier pleaded not guilty to the charges. Issues contained in the motion sought to be moved by the defense counsel were not made known. Chukunonso Mwabweze, NTA News.
And we'll take a break on News Desk. We'll return presently. Don't go away.
From the creeks of the Niger Delta to the breathtaking scenery of the plateau, in noonday and nighttime, we set out to bring to you captivating stories that evoke your emotions. 4 fascinating documentaries and reports on day-to-day issues with expert analysis, Tune in to NTA News 24, DSTV channel 419, GoTV channel 26, StarTimes channel 101 and 433, and Free TV channel 703.
Welcome back, and you're watching News Desk 3 on NTA News 24. Now, Minister of Environment Balarabe Abbas Lawal says circular economy provides framework for balance between development and environmental sustainability. Now, this was during a seminar organized by the National Environmental Standards and Regulations Enforcement Agency, NESTRA, in collaboration with the European Union here in Abuja. The minister says that while construction, mining and quarrying sectors are vital to Nigeria's economy, they're also implicated in land degradation, especially when their activities are unregulated.
Unregulated mining pits, exhausted quarry sites, deforestation and polluted environment are clear signs of the imbalance between development and environmental sustainability.
General Nesria, Dr. Innocent Bariko, notes that circular economy offers transformative framework to ensure resource conservation and regeneration.
Construction activities, for instance, can be used to create raw materials for other construction and developmental projects.
And Niger State government has handed over 5 ferry boats to some riverine communities in Niger State to ease water transportation and check the frequent boat mishaps in the state. Our correspondent Fatima Usman reports that the boats were handed over to the benefiting communities at the Wuya River in Bako, local government area of the state, by the State Community and Social Development Agency.
Over the years, many Nigerians have lost their lives as a result of boat mishap on the country's inland waterways, most of which, according to industry observers, is due to disregard for safety guidelines and lack of standard boats. The recent October 2024 boat tragedy in Gbajibo community of Mokwa local government area of Niger State, which claimed more than 100 lives, has signaled the risk associated with using traditional wooden boats, night voyage, overloading, and non-use of safety jackets. Thus, the intervention by the Community and Social Development Agency, CSDA, by providing 5 number of metallic 50-seater passenger ferry boats and safety jackets to some riverine communities in the state to forestall reoccurrence.
This is a 50-seater metal boat intervention by CSDA. Inshallah, with this type of intervention, we hope not to see any boat mishap.
Each boat comes with 10 life buoys, 2 fire extinguishers, 50 life jackets for adults, and 6 number life jackets for children. And then it is powered by 2 number 40 horsepower engines, which they can use alternately.
The 5 benefiting communities are spread across Bako, Edati, Borgu, Mokwa and Bida local government areas of Niger State. I am Fatima Usman, NTA News.
And now, the Supreme Court may have passed judgment in favor of local government council financial autonomy. But workers in the third tier of government feel there are clauses in Nigeria's constitution that may not allow for effective implementation of the autonomy. Labour correspondent Joseph Oteng has details on this.
Local government workers are among many Nigerians that celebrated the Supreme Court judgment granting local government financial autonomy.
Effectively.
It is a move they believe will revitalize development at the grassroots.
When you talk about issue of poverty, infrastructural deficit, insecurity, and bad governance, it can be linked to the absence of that of national government that has become missing in action.
The people at the grassroots will be able to hold that chairman in a particular local government accountable.
They want a constitutional amendment that will abolish the joint account and other legislations that will spell out clear financial obligations for the councils.
We need to now amend Section 7 to reflect the spirit and letters of the judgment. For instance, the issue of local government election, the abolishment of the JAC must be removed from Section 7, and conduct of local government elections and the control of those resources must also be clearly defined.
The Workers' Union have dedicated an entire week to share ideas on making local government administration work effectively in the country. In Abuja, Joseph Otsen, Nta News.
And you're watching News Desk at 3 here on Nta News 24. Let's remind you of our top stories. And the federal government has partnered musical icon 2Face on job creation for the youth.
Areas that are of interest to some of our target audience. And you agree with me that it's the entertainment or creative industry.
An Abuja Magistrate Court adjourns Ikweche's assault case to hear mid-November. The Niger State government takes steps to curb incessant boat mischief, distributes metallic boats to riverine communities.
This is Nta News 24.
Right now, the Senior Staff Union of Nigerian Universities, SANU, says it is assessing the pronouncement by the federal government on removal of all tertiary institutions from the Integrated Payroll Information System, IPPIS. Now, SANU President Mohammed Haruna, at a briefing in Abuja, said that despite the pronouncement, the federal government still paid October's salary through the IPPIS.
And we are waiting to see. Our October salary was paid through IPPIS. So we are waiting to see November, whether there could be a departure from that. So if our exit from IPPIS is in tandem with our aspiration of having financial stability, for having our autonomy in terms of funding and operations, we are the most delighted and we will be happy to celebrate that. We are revisiting the matters of our outstanding 3 months withheld salaries, the 50 billion naira and allowances, arrears of our 25-35% salary increment. We recognize that the government has begun payment of the 1 month from the 4 months withheld salaries, and we are hopeful that this marks the progress towards fulfilling these commitments.
And SANU President expressed concerns over pending agreements with the federal government. Though Africa celebrates success attained through digital economy, there are suggestions that the continent should display extra quest as inclusive participation, which hinders active participation of women, and the girl child remains a challenge. Now, advocates at one of the sessions of the 2024 African Women's Congress in Lusaka, Zambia, are recommending sensitization to promote digital literacy among women. Our correspondent, Oluseya Adeagbo, will bring us this report. But let's quickly take a look at this next story from Simbiat Agbaji, in which the National Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission NIPADEC has presented startup kits to 689 youths in Benue State as part of its youth transformation program. Let's take the story from Simbiat Agbaji now. All right, sorry about that. There seems to be some slight mix-up. We'll bring you that story much later in our forthcoming bulletins. Now, let's quickly take this last report before we sign off, and that's on reforming the nation's economy through arts and culture, which is achievable and sustainable. And the Minister of the FCT, Nyeso Wike, stated this at the 2024 edition of ASUFest in Abuja. Aisha Uba Ali reports.
administration gave its words of sustaining ASOFest few months ago, it was not mere saying. It may be recalled that the 2023 edition was marked this year, and the 2024 edition is coming with a difference. Culture, tourism, and art, to mention a few, have been the mainstay of some nations' economy. Nigeria is still trying to make a breakthrough in this area, and how this can be achieved form part of the speech of the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, represented by the Mandate Secretary, Social Development Secretariat, Aminu Ibrahim, who is not only focusing on infrastructure, but how to make other sectors viable to contribute to GDP.
Another major cultural event in Nigeria that seeks to bring together stakeholders in the art and culture industry to interact, showcase talents, and project the image of Nigeria's heritage.
The event by the Secretariat became the rallying point, showcasing the beauty and uniqueness of diverse culture. The various exhibition stands had some unique messages for the guests. The food stand, dance, cultural displays, and traditional games all formed part of the highlight at the event.
That means under his watch, this festival will be sustained. Please help me give my minister a very big applause. I also must thank the Honorable Minister of State, our own mother, who is our supervising minister, Dr. Miriam Mahmoud Bunkure.
The flagship cultural program of the FCT, speakers say, remains a platform for skills acquisition and transfer for youth and women, as the FCT administration assures of its open doors policies in cultural collaboration, partnership, and engagement. Aisha Ubali, NTA News.
And the next news desk will come up later this evening at 6, but don't forget to catch up with more news on the network service at 4. I am Claire Adela Boabdorosa. Have a good afternoon.